Where do you and your spouse have disagreements, or maybe that's too strong a word, discussions around any aspect of taking children seriously or the sovereign child?
We have tons of discussions on how we're going to solve this problem.
Maybe discussions isn't strong enough a word.
Disagreements.
Yeah, like disagreements, friction, growth opportunities.
I mean, there's things that we used to have that we don't anymore.
What are those?
Well, just like this needs to be a rule. Like we have to have a rule about this. There's a middle ground. It's not like it's all or nothing, right? There's a huge middle ground to relaxing rules. And one easy thing people can do right now is just say that instead of enforcing a rule, we think about it for 60 seconds. Like just spend 60 seconds and think, is there some solution to this that gets around this problem? Like there's no drawing on the walls, right? Like, can we just think for 60 seconds, right? Before you tell the kid no drawing on the walls, 60 seconds is long enough to solve so many problems. It's unbelievable. Like, you start thinking like, oh, maybe we could just put paper all over the walls. Let's do that. Yeah, we'll put paper on the walls and then I draw on the paper on the wall, right? So that was one big thing that my wife and I made progress with, was realizing that we just pause when the mind goes to enforce a rule. Just pause and think, is there some way around this? It's gotten to the point now where we don't even go toward the rule. Just the reflexes, like, oh, damn it, kid wants to do this and that's going to really cause a mess. Can we do it like this? Can we do it like that? I guess that's one answer to your question.
Are there things where you want to take the hands off the wheel and your wife is like, I would prefer some variation that is not exactly hands off the wheel?
Yeah, I'm more prone to saying hands off the wheel. She's a little bit more conservative than me. But the other thing is that she and I are also problem solving. Our daughter got a hoverboard and it's making marks on the floor. So the temptation is no hoverboard in the house. And it's like, well, why don't you want the hoverboard in the house? You're kind of afraid they're going to fall and hurt themselves. They're going to smash into the furniture. They're going to make marks on the floor, right? You start going through this and it's like, okay, well, what if we move the furniture out of the dining room and I'll clean up the floor, right? Or we'll show our daughter how to clean up the floor. Instead of it being like no hoverboard in the house, let's just try to understand what we don't like about this. And, my wife and I use this, apart from the kids, right? Like I want to play music. She doesn't like Radiohead. I really like listening to Radiohead. You guys like no Radiohead in the house. It's how can I listen to the music I want? You listen to the music you want. Have quiet when we want quiet. It's just not about enforcing rules. It's about how do we all make our lives better? Like I'm my wife's partner in making her life better. She's a partner in making my life better. We partner with our kids to make their lives better. Like, everybody trying to find out from their perspective what's not working and how to make it better.
So what happened with the Radiohead? Is everybody walking around with headsets?
That's a problem, actually. I haven't really solved that one. It's nice to have it on the speakers, and that one's a sticking point.
Yeah, got it.
And I do think one of my rules will be no hoverboards in the house.
Yeah.